When thinking of violence, what films come to mind?
To start with, Clockwork Orange
Mhm.
and Goodfellas.
Why do you think that?
Well, when I watched Clockwork Orange for the first time, I'd seen things happening that I'd never seen before, violence-wise.
What did you see?
I saw a gang of people with pickaxe handles beating an old man to death. I saw a man have his eyes forced open with devices.
I saw a picture of that.
Yeah, so I hadn't seen anything like that. Goodfellas, they kick a man to death by kicking him and stomping on his head and things like that. And although you can't really see too much of it, it just gives you such a sense of realism that I found that quite shocking.
Nice. Thinking back to films you watched when you were younger, did any shock you because of what you saw in terms of violence?
Yes. Texas Chainsaw Massacre shocked me because of seeing a man being hit with a sledgehammer and then shaking on the floor, which I'd never seen. Seeing a woman hung alive up on a meat hook, that was all stuff I'd never seen before. And another one is Taxi Driver, which, although isn't particularly violent throughout the whole of the film, the last sort of couple of minutes was just this big mass of violence. People getting shot and stabbed, and for the first time I saw someone's brains get blown all over a wall.
Beautiful.
Mm.
Are there any directors you think are significant when it comes to producing violent films?
Yeah, I think Martin Scorsese, because of the material he uses and what he bases his films on, a lot of them are gangster based,
Yeah.
which will obviously need to include lots of violence.
Watching modern films, is there still the shock there?
Yeah, I think so. I think films like Hostel are still pretty shocking. I saw a film called Antichrist, which I thought was very shocking. That's a lot worse than a lot of films I'd seen in the past.
Why do you think this is?
Because I think with censorship now, they get away with a lot more. Things that were deemed really violent and too violent in the past are now accepted in this time.
What do you think that is? Do you think that's because of social change or just because of technology?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at, say, the old gangster films from the 20s, you know, you'll see someone get shot, you'll see no blood. And as the time's gone on, it's just become more acceptable, I think.
I think that too.
Mm.
What films were iconic when it came to violence during your childhood?
That would probably be films like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Taxi Driver, that I've already mentioned. There was one directed by Sam Peckinpah called The Wild Bunch, which showed a lot of violence, all in slow motion, lots of blood. So they were pretty iconic.
Yeah. What made them iconic though?
I think just because of what they was actually about and what they was doing, it wasn't really heard of as much. They was just doing things that hadn't been seen, like seeing people getting shot and blood pouring out of their bodies all in slow motion.
Yeah.
People hadn't really seen that before.
Shocking when it comes to it.
Mm.
If you had to comment on how violence has changed in films since you were younger, what would you say?
Well, I think because of effects and things like that, the violence looks a lot more realistic than it used to.
Yeah.
With some older films you can see like the blood is very fake now. There's a lot of like good effects that makes the blood look more real. You just can see there's a lot more graphic
Yeah.
because of the technology that they have now.